This journal article is entitled Developing Literacy in English Language Learners, Findings from a Review of the Experimental Research. This article provides an overview of the various forms of successful literary instruction for ELLs in comparison to native English students. The article focuses on components of literacy, including decoding, oral reading, fluency, vocabulary, and writing, and the research-based methods that are best suited for engaging ELL students in their literary practices. Also, the article offers further suggestions in terms of differentiating instruction, repetition and reinforcement, scaffolding, and the importance of understanding the strengths of the student within their first language. According to the article, the total student enrollment in the U.S. increased by 4.9%. ELL students increased 32% and make up about 9% of the school-age students in the American classrooms. Because of this, schools need empirical evidence on the best means to effectively teach reading and comprehension to ELL students. The National Reading Panel analyzes effective teaching methods for reading, but the studies exclude ELLs. Since ELLs are excluded from these studies, the National Literary Panel on Language Minority Children and Youth was developed. Both panels review research and create methods that are based on the component skills of reading, which include decoding, oral reading fluency, reading comprehension, and vocabulary. We will now discuss the component skills that are seen here in detail. ELLs benefit from learning a language through explicit instruction of phonological awareness, phonics, vocabulary, oral reading fluency, reading comprehension, as well as writing. The NRP concluded that students can increase their reading capability if taught phonological awareness and phonics. This is also the case with ELLs. Also, the instructional programs that worked for native English learners also work well for ELLs, with particular emphasis on the differences between the students' primary language and English. Such differences, when highlighted, strengthen ELL students' acquisition in English. Instructional programs, such as those listed, are beneficial to both native English speaker and ELLs. The next component of literacy is oral reading fluency, which is the ability to read text with the correct inflections, prosody, and speed. Characteristics such as intonation and tone are essential to quality oral reading fluency. Native English speakers benefit from guided oral reading with repetition. ELLs also benefit from this form of instruction, but also show improvement through the implementation of small groups, one-on-one instruction, as well as student-led fluency activities. Vocabulary describes the meaning and the grammatical category of a given word. Syntactic categories, or the way words function in sentences, are essential in literary comprehension. Native English learners learn vocabulary through explicit instruction or through immersion through the use of storybooks. Although this may benefit ELLs, it's found that ELLs benefit more from visual cues and motor activities and manipulation, as well as the practice of using the student's first language as a starting point of development. Reading comprehension is the overall objective of reading and a culmination of the above-mentioned components of literacy. For native English speakers, the best means to teach reading comprehension is to give explicit instruction on how to analyze and comprehend literature. If we think back to the way we read literature, we see this is the case. We ask ourselves questions such as, what's the theme? Who are the authors? And why are they writing this? We are taught to always ask who, what, where, when, why, and how. ELLs, on the other hand, can benefit from this form of explicit instruction, but they can also benefit through the use of classroom discussions, a preview of key vocabulary and themes, a simple introduction to the story, as well as visual aids such as movies and photos. Pre-reading activities activate the student's prior knowledge of the subject, which allows the student to relate to and interact with the text. Writing is an integral part of literacy and improves reading comprehension. ELLs can build upon their literary skills through practice revision, as well as the use of word processors. It is found that writing, with the use of a word processor, improves the quality of work comprehension as opposed to the standard pencil and paper. There are numerous instructional models for ELL students in terms of how to best execute literary comprehension through writing. Such studies use Graham and Perrin's approach to writing that proved to be effective for English speakers and built upon the idea with ELL students in mind. The Sheltered Instruction Observation Protocol model focuses on strategies and techniques of introducing information to ELL students. The Pathway Project looks at writing and reading as connected with similar processes. This approach is known as the Cognitive Strategies approach, which is a balance of higher and lower order skills and structured objectives and tasks. The final study by Saunders and Goldenberg found that ELL students benefit when they're learning literacy with varied age groups in a single setting. In order to effectively develop literacy comprehension for ELL students, I've mentioned numerous methods which can best be summed up as differentiating instruction, repetition and reinforcement, scaffolding, and capitalizing on first language strengths. Listed are also instructional approaches that are used in instruction. Each of these instructional methods best serve ELL students and creates an individualized approach to development of literacy.